Welcome back to the Smugsy Show. I'm Smugsy, your host. Almost every Wednesday we meet here to talk about important things and important people. And this week it's just a minute about moderation. And I'm talking about moderate Minifans and why you should support them. I'm a Minifan and I'm a moderate Minifan. And the reason is because I have a life. I like the show, but I also have a life. I have a job and a family and things I do and places I go and things that I cook. And I do like to garden. But I like the show, and occasionally I'll go off the grid, and then I get back on the grid, and then I listen to the show, and I've been listening to the show since 2019, and not only that, I've had this show about, basically a parody account that was born on the Kirk Minifan show, and those of you who know the story of Smugsy Girl know that it was Steve Robinson who invited me on the show and called me Smug, and then I asked Kirk if I could be a parody account. He said yes. I was blessed by him for a little bit, then I became an enemy, and then I became my own thing. My own brand. Fuck cancel culture. Define yourself. Nobody can cancel you but yourself. Started my own little show. It's not on the network because I hate manners, but that's okay because that's what being free is all about. I can do my own thing. I'm not a cult member. And it's a good way of living. It's healthy. Steve Robinson, right? He got sucked in and became a fringe and then had to go out on mental leave, and now he's a moderate. He consumes the show in moderation and has obviously a very lot of power. And that's why in the coming months, when you're asked to rate and rank, dice and slice, put us all in boxes, it's not my idea of fun, but this is what we have to do. You're going to be asked to rate the top 50 parody accounts for the Kirk Minifan show, and I think you should consider somebody who's moderate like me. I do my thing, I do enough. It should be enough to be a fan of the show and not be a complete lunatic. It should be enough to not feel like you have to bow down to the religion of podcast Jesus, but can still sing in the choir. And in the real world, to be moderate is to be courageous. Fight against these bullies. Speak out. Have good ideas. Big ideas. Ideas that make people's mind bend, but then they come around and they follow instead of, like some of these Minifans who are on the fringes, followers. I'm just saying to the person who accused me of being a grifter this week, it's not something I've never heard before. I'm constantly reminded, right, that I'm a clout chaser. This Smugsy Girl is just, over the hill, some sort of washed up loser, but that's because you don't understand, really, the soul of the show. And the soul of the show is just somebody who's free, has thoughts of their own, writes their own narrative, enjoys the show without having a heart attack. I've never had a heart attack. In fact, it feels really good. It feels really good right here in my soul. To be moderate is to be free. To be moderate is to be radical. And to be a moderate Minifan should be something that makes you eligible to be in the top 50 parody accounts. And so I'd like you to consider supporting me. And more importantly, I'd like you to consider being a moderate yourself. Step back. Look up. Do your own thing. Write your own narrative. Define yourself. Fuck cancel culture. Nobody can cancel you without your consent, even Kirk Minifan. Look at me. Better yet, join me here on the Smugsy Show. And until next time, this is Smugsy Girl signing off. Take care.